Okay, so good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. I was gonna do this like an hour and a half ago, but as I was like sitting down to do it, I started getting like migraine-y symptoms, and so I had to like stop and sit with a blanket over my head for a while, and then I had to like get something to eat so that it would mellow everything out. So it's been a while. I may have forgotten everything that I was going to talk about an hour and a half ago. I did make notes before that, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Jinx, why are you like this? I have to close the door. Hold on. Can you not lay down under my foot? What's the matter with you? Almost crushed a cat. Okay. So, where was I? Okay, I got notes. Let's start with the notes. We'll see what happens from there. Okay. Cross stitch. Oh, your cross stitch thingy. Lost the word. The present that you got. That's really cool. My mom also like did some cross stitch gifts for people. She used to cross stitch a lot. She doesn't really do it, or didn't really do it anymore. She had a long hiatus from cross stitching, and then she picked it up again recently, and so she made a couple of like cross stitched gifts for people this year. It's a thing, I guess. People are like picking up crafting again, I guess. So yeah, that was really cool, and it's one of the nice things about stuff like that is you can make things that are really personalized like that, where it's like a very specific thing that a very specific person would enjoy. I like that. I kind of have a craft thing sitting here, actually. I did not plan that in advance. This is a knitted like throw blanket thing. A friend of the family a couple years ago, she decided that she was going to take up knitting or crocheting, I think, and she attempted it, and it went really poorly. And so she sort of rage quit in the middle. I guess she was trying to crochet a blanket, and she kind of rage quit in the middle and brought it over to me and was just like, "Here, you like yarn, just have it." And so I took it all apart for her, because she had started out attempting to make a rectangle and then had kind of gradually made sort of like a wonky triangle. So I took it all apart, and then I started making this with it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably give it to her for her birthday or something. But yeah, I'm getting close to done with it. I've worked my way through most of the yarn at this point. So I think this is all that's left. So I'm closing in on the end. So yeah, that was a digression. Train trip. I'm sorry that your train trip was canceled. That sucks. But I'm glad that you made it home without, any like major thing. Because it would have been really unfortunate if you'd been stranded. So I'm glad that it all worked out in the end, basically. I had like a whole bunch of stuff I was gonna say in response. I've forgotten it all. If I had done this like an hour and a half ago, I probably would have remembered more of it, but I've lost it all now. It's all gone. So I guess I will just continue on. Maybe if I remember it later on, I can shoehorn it in later. The ingredients for the yeast. Yeah. Yeah, it is a weird thing that a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the reason that people with corn allergy or intolerance can't eat things is not actually because of the corn in the product, but is because of stuff that's manufactured with it, or like for instance, there is a company that uses cornstarch to clean their lines for packaging, and so none of us can eat anything that is made by that company because all of their stuff is contaminated with corn, because that's what they use to clean the lines. Or sometimes it will be like some kind of product that they use that is like some kind of like, cleaning spray or something that they use that's corny, or like weird things like mold release, like anything that is a particular shape that has to go into a mold. You use mold release for, which is the same idea as like greasing a cake pan before you put the cake batter in, so you can get it out again easily. And a lot of times they use vegetable oil as a mold release, which is always full of corn, or other kinds of like commercial mold releases, but that are also full of corn, or like weird things like rennet in cheese is often corny, or maple syrup, like pure maple syrup. You would think like it's a pure thing, right? It's one ingredient. Like they just take the sap and boil it down. Like, I mean, it's one ingredient. How can it possibly have a thing in it? But they use something called a defoamer, because they boil it in big vats, so they have to keep it from foaming over. And one of the things that they often use is vegetable oil, again, or like lots of other like commercial defoamers and stuff like that, but they all generally have corn in them, so you have to, like, if you want maple syrup, you have to contact companies individually and ask them what they use as a defoamer. And that's one of the big problems, is that you have to know what questions to ask, because if you just contact a company and say, is there any corn in your maple syrup, they're going to be like, no, of course there's no corn in the maple syrup, what's wrong with you? Can you not do that, please? Min has an itch. So it's things like that. You have to know what questions to ask because they don't know. And in the US, it's a problem because of our packaging laws, because of the, can you please not do that? Because of the way ingredients are listed, the requirements for listing ingredients is not as stringent as it could be, and so sometimes there are lots of like hidden ingredients that don't show up on the labeling. Nothing that's used in manufacturing, like as a manufacturing aid, has to be included, so that's why like mold releases and things like that aren't included. Also, a few years ago, the FDA did this really unfortunate thing where they decided that as long as it's under a certain percentage of the product, the company can just change the ingredient without changing their labeling. So that's extremely dangerous. So yeah, like it's weird. You have to have like a lot of specialized knowledge about what kind of questions to ask to get the right kinds of answers that you will need, and then you just have to hope that the person you happen to be asking the questions of is actually giving you the right answers, which they might not be, not necessarily on purpose, but just because they just don't know. Like, I mean, way back when I was brand new at this, I had ordered a product online, and when it arrived, it was a slightly different product by the same company. And so when I called them to ask them questions about it, the guy was like, no, of course it doesn't contain any corn because it doesn't say corn on the ingredients list. And I was like, no, I know, I also can read the ingredients list, but what about, for instance, this is fortified with vitamins. What about the vitamins? And there was this really long pause, and then he was like, oh, right, I didn't think about the vitamins. Those are probably derived from corn. And I was like, yes. So that's the kind of thing. It's just, you have to know what to ask, and like, if you don't think of something, or if you don't have enough information about that particular thing, and not only that particular thing, but like the ways in which it may or may not be being manufactured and or packaged and or whatever, like, you're opening yourself up. And then, even then, just because they tell you that it's fine and you have done all your due diligence and you think it's going to be okay, you still have to trial it really carefully, because who knows? Because you may react to it anyway. There may be something that you have not thought to look for, or they may have been wrong about an ingredient, or you might just be having a weird reaction to something you didn't know you were going to react to. No way to tell. It's super fun. So I hope this is like a reasonably interesting conversation for you guys to be like hearing all this stuff about. I hope it does not just come off like I'm trying to get you to feel sorry for me. It's just, I do genuinely find it really interesting, albeit extremely frustrating, but that's because I have to live with it. Like, it just, I don't know, I think it's kind of weird, but interesting. Like, especially because I think we don't, like, as a society, broad we, I think that we don't, like, really talk about things like this very often, so that's why it's really confusing for people, especially, like, people who don't have any allergies and who don't, like, necessarily have any close contact with people who have allergies, and they get really confused when you say, like, I can't eat this thing, and they're like, well, it clearly does not have corn in it, like, why can't you eat it? It seems confusing to people. So, I don't know, I have strayed from the point again. I have rambled. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna put the cookie recipe from before in the doobly-doo. If I remember to do that, I'll try. Just in case. Like, it doesn't have any weird ingredients in it or anything. The adjusting is all a question of just finding, like, stuff that is safe for me to use, like safe brands of things and whatever. Safe brand of oatmeal, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have any, like, strange ingredients in it, like any weird substitutes or anything. So if anybody wants a cookie recipe for oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, flourless oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, I will put the recipe and the ingredients. Almost lost the word again. Recipe and the ingredients. Did lose the word, just a different word. Okay. Oh, messages. The keyboard. Lost the word again. Okay, so it's called Messages. I did put the, not ingredients, the link in the description last time, but I didn't do it right away because I forgot. I had intended to, but then I forgot to do it when I uploaded, so I went and put it in later, so it might have been after you saw the video. So I will put the link in the doobly-doo. Again, maybe a couple of different links. It is available for Android. That's what I've got. I've got an Android phone. It's, I think, also available for iPhone as well, I believe. But, okay, so here are just, like, random odds and ends about it. Like, if you want to, for instance, if you want to swap keyboards, like, to another language keyboard, if you have it installed already, all you do is go like that, and then it gives you your other keyboard. And you can change the colors, too, so that your different keyboards are different colors, so you can immediately tell at a glance which keyboard you're using. And then you just, like, do that again, and it puts you back to the other one. You press the button over here for numbers, or you can long press, and it will give you numbers there. And what was the other thing? Oh, it has an emoji keyboard too. Here. So it's got all the same, like, basic stuff that other keyboards have. There's a copy and a paste, and also a cut if you prefer to cut rather than copy. I'm trying to think what, oh, it has autocorrect. Sorry, the migraine thing, I'm really having trouble with words today. Okay, so I don't really ever use autocorrect because I hate autocorrect, but, like, if you would like to use it, you can do it by going like that. Not on that keyboard apparently because I don't have it enabled for that keyboard. But you go like that, and it gives you the autocorrect bar, and like that again to put it down. You can change the size of your, that's not the right side. You can change the size of your keyboard. Oh no, I have forgotten. There we go. I'm sorry, keep messing things up. Okay, I'm sorry. This is not working out well for me at all. I really probably should have considered not like having a migraine before I started this. You can, man, I am really doing a bad job here. You can increase, I can't get it to do it, I'm sorry. You can increase the size of the keyboard or squash the size of the keyboard as works best for you, you just like flip the thing up. It works just fine if you're, you know, not having a migraine. So I don't know. What was the other thing that I was gonna, there was something specific, something really specific. What was it? Oh, you can also, this is not the thing, but this is a thing. If you are trying to use like a letter that has a diacritic, like maybe you're typing in French or something, you can either just type the letter and then go like that, and it will give you it will give you various you know, diacritics, and you can go through a bunch of them. Or you can type the letter and then I can't do it. I can't do it backwards. I'm really not doing well here. You can type the letter and then followed by the diacritic, and then it will combine and then give you the diacritic. Or if you don't want it that way, you can just hit the backspace and it will give you both. What was the thing? Oh, I know what the thing was. Okay, I plugged in my old phone for this. So we were talking about the like the learning curve of it and trying to like learn to type. There are two things that I was going to say. Oh, one of them is if you type with your thumbs. I believe, again, I don't type with my thumbs, so this is not something I've ever used, but I believe there is a setting that you can enable that will then allow you to type much faster if you are using two thumbs to type with instead of just like one finger. It's like some kind of special setting that makes it work better. So there's that. But the other thing that I was going to mention specifically was you were talking about having to practice it, which you do. But there is specifically, Messages has provided a game specifically for learning, and it has like a couple of different ones. Level 1. I'm gonna try to do this at a funny angle. We will see. And you just like, what is that? That's an R. You just go like that until you learn. It starts you off with the ones that are just the buttons you just have to press, and then as you go up the levels, it starts introducing the diagonals and punctuation and stuff. There's a balloon game. When you are confident, you can then move on to words, which look like that. I cannot type that backwards, so we just won't do that. I think there's like a speed game on here. If you are the sort of person who is motivated by competition, there are also leaderboards, I believe. I am not the sort of person who is motivated by competition, so I don't really know how they work. I don't remember. I had to download it on my old, or I had to plug in my old phone because it's been so long since I started using Messages that I don't have the game downloaded on the phone that I have now. So I had to dig out my old phone. So yes, so there's a game. I will put that in the doobly-doo as well. The link to that in the Play Store. So I think that's all the stuff basically that I had to talk about. I don't know. My brain is like, I thought I was doing pretty good before I started, but clearly I was mistaken. My brain is like mush right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop. I think I got most of the stuff I was gonna talk about, at least kinda covered. I will try to remember to put all the things in the doobly-doo that I said I was gonna put in the doobly-doo. So look at that, and if it's not there, tell me, and I will provide the link. So, okay. I love you all very much. I hope everybody's having a good week. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to be awesome.